In 1946, amidst the ash and ruin of post-WWII Tokyo, a quiet 29-year-old machinist stepped into a freezing, drafty workshop with 3 basic lathes. His name was Tadao Kashio. For over a decade, he had mastered precision metalworking, spending his nights studying engineering while his days were spent shaping steel. But post-war Japan was bankrupt, supplies were non-existent, and factories lay in ruins. Tadao didn't have capital, silicon chips, or a grand Silicon Valley dream. All he had was 3 employees, his younger brothers, and a radical commitment to simple, elegant engineering. What started in that tiny, cold shop didn't just survive, it grew into a global empire that completely democratized how the entire human race calculates, tells time, and composes music. The smoke and the silicon. To understand the genius of Casio, you have to look past modern digital watches and look at a tiny piece of bent wire called the Ubiwa Pipe. In post-war Tokyo, tobacco was a luxury. Smokers were forced to burn their fingers just to smoke cigarettes down to the absolute final shred of tobacco. Tadao's inventor brother, Toshio, a child prodigy who read Thomas Edison's biography at age 12, had a deceptively simple idea. Fabricate a wearable finger ring that held a cigarette safely. It allowed workers to smoke every last grain of tobacco while keeping their hands entirely free to work. Fabricated by Tadao and sold door-to-door by their father Shigeru, the Ubiwa Pipe became an explosive local hit. That cigarette holder sounds like a footnote, but it provided the pure, unleveraged cash flow that allowed the brothers to stop taking subcontracting jobs and invest in pure innovation. In 1949, Toshio visited an electronics exhibition in Ginza and saw massive, clunky foreign mechanical calculators with spinning gears driven by electric motors. He looked at the noisy machines and made an absurd decision. He would build a silent, all-electric calculator with 0 moving mechanical parts. It took 8 brutal years of failure, near bankruptcy, and crushing trial and error. 1954, their first solenoid-based prototype was rejected by traders because it couldn't perform continuous multiplication. 1956, during a flight to a critical presentation in Sapporo, airport staff forced them to dismantle the machine to fit it into the cargo hold. Reassembled on the ground, the machine broke, and the investor pulled out completely. Instead of quitting, Toshio scrapped the entire mechanical design and rebuilt the architecture around electromagnetic relays. Where industrial mainframe computers used up to 13,000 relays, Toshio achieved the exact same computing power using just 341. In June 1957, the Casio 14A was born, the world's first all-electric relay calculator. They dropped the K for a global C, renamed the company Casio, and launched an empire. The Calculator Wars and the 10 million strike. By the mid-1960s, a dangerous threat emerged. Electronic calculators using transistors and integrated circuits hit the market from rivals like Sharp and Canon. Relay technology was obsolete almost overnight. During a dealer presentation in 1965, where clients literally threatened to walk out, Kazuo Kashio, the family's quick-witted master salesman, bluffed. He pulled out a half-finished electronic prototype, bought the company 4 crucial months, and had brother Yukio shift their entire manufacturing process to solid-state electronics. They released the Casio 001. The name was symbolic, starting over from absolute zero. Over 50 manufacturers jumped into the Japanese market in what historians call the Calculator Wars. While rivals fought over corporate offices, Yukio Kashio noticed something different. He saw regular people struggle to calculate everyday numbers, from household budgets to sports scores. In 1972, Casio unleashed the Casio Mini, a personal calculator priced at just 12,800 yen, 1/3 the cost of business models. Kazuo bypassed traditional electronics distributors and built a network of 30,000 local stationery shops across Japan. The result? 1 million units sold in 10 months and over 10 million over its lifetime. The calculator wars were over. Casio had won. The Timekeeper's Matrix. The Kashio brothers refused to stay a one-product company. Toshio looked at the luxury wristwatch industry with a mathematician's eye. A watch simply adds 1 second every second. In 1974, they launched the Casiotron, the world's first digital watch with a fully automatic calendar that adjusted for months with 30, 31, or 28 days without manual correction. By 1980, Toshio mapped the mathematical relationships between digital frequencies and sound waves, launching the Casiotone 201. It was a lightweight, dirt-cheap electronic keyboard that reproduced 29 instrument sounds, single-handedly creating the home electronic music market overnight. Yet, their most legendary triumph didn't come from a boardroom. It came from a dropped gift. Project Team Tough and the Unbreakable Icon. In 1981, a young Casio engineer named Kikuo Ibe bumped into a passerby on his way to work. His wristwatch slammed into the concrete, shattering into pieces. It was a cherished gift from his father. Haunted by the fragility of traditional timepieces, eBay submitted a 14-character handwritten proposal for a new product, a durable watch that would not break even if dropped. Top management gave him the green light. eBay and a 3-man crew, Project Team Tough, set the impossible triple 10 standard: 10-meter drop resistance, 10-bar water resistance, 10-year battery life. For 2 straight years, eBay tested over 200 prototypes by dropping them directly out of a 3rd-floor bathroom window at the R&D facility, exactly 10 meters onto the pavement. Every single one shattered. Desperate and on the verge of resigning, eBay took a walk in a park on a Sunday afternoon. He watched a young girl bouncing a hollow rubber ball on the ground. The epiphany hit like lightning. The core module didn't need more metal armor. It needed to float inside a hollow structure. In April 1983, Casio released the G-Shock DW5000C. It was thick, square, ugly, and entirely ignored by Japanese consumers who favored thin, delicate dress watches, but Kazuo pushed it to the United States. A famous 1984 US television commercial showed an ice hockey player using a G-Shock as a puck. Skeptical viewers bought them just to destroy them, throwing them off buildings, hitting them with baseball bats, running them over with trucks. The watches survived every test. West Coast skateboarders, East Coast hip-hop culture, police officers, and military units adopted the watch. Eventually, Japanese youth began re-importing American G-Shocks back into Tokyo as a badge of street authenticity. To date, the G-Shock has sold well over 100 million units globally. The story of Casio isn't a story of massive venture capital funds, Ivy League dorm rooms, or corporate buyouts. It is the story of 4 brothers, a machinist, an inventor, a salesman, and an engineer, pooling their meager earnings from a ring made for smoking tobacco to build tools that transformed human culture. They didn't wait for the market to tell them what was needed. They built products so radical that the world only realized it needed them after they existed. If you found this analytical breakdown valuable, subscribe for more deep dives into complex industrial history. Thank you for watching.